Welcome back to your
second
favorite sports podcast. As you can see, we're back, but with a whole new setup. I hope you can hear that we're back with a whole new setup. New microphones, new recording setup, no more computer that I have to put stickers on and tape so that way a certain brand is not shown and we don't get in trouble.
Definitely. Don't need that.
But hopefully you're enjoying the new setup. We definitely are. First episode with that. Glad to be back in person.
Definitely.
Halloween just passed, and it got me thinking,
Mm-hmm.
in the spirit of Halloween, what players could dress up as another sport as if they played another sport and you would believe it?
Interesting. No, this is good.
I'll give you an example. The classic example is LeBron James dresses up as a tight end for Halloween. That's a tight end.
No,
that guy plays football.
Absolutely.
And while you're thinking, think of some of your things.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say youtube.com/secondfavoritesports. Like, subscribe, comment. We appreciate all that. SoundCloud.com/secondfavoritesports if you'd rather just listen.
Link in the bio.
Link in the bio. It's always in the bio. And at Second Favorite Sports on Instagram. It's where you can keep up with all the updates. That's where we'll be posting the bracket that we mentioned in the last episode, which if you didn't watch the last episode, go watch it, and you'll find out what the bracket even is.
Yes.
Who do you think?
Who could dress up as another, another sport?
Yeah.
As another athlete, another sport. I don't know. I don't know if anybody's ever thought about this, but if you told me and I saw, like, Russell Westbrook in a soccer jersey.
Yeah.
I'm rolling with that.
Hey, he's so fast.
Yes. If I always believe that if Russell Westbrook, instead of they put a basketball in his hand at 10, if they gave him a soccer ball, I think he'd be one of the best in the world. Now.
I feel like it's like that for a lot of athletes.
Absolutely.
Well, that's like Usain Bolt went and played professional soccer, and he scored in his first game.
So crazy.
Because how are you going to defend a guy you can't catch?
You can't. It's just athletics. Athletes that are super, you can't stop them.
Exactly.
It's inevitable. Like, they're going to find a way. They're going to find a way. But no, Russell Westbrook, if you...
As a soccer player.
Yeah,
I like that.
If he came out in a Man U jersey and you never saw him before, and you said, oh, man, who's the new striker for Man U? Oh, that's Russell Westbrook. It's like, oh, really?
Yeah. He even has a soccer player name.
Yeah, he does.
Russell Westbrook?
He plays like one, too. Yes. Russell Westbrook is absolutely British.
Yes.
That's a British name.
I like that. That's actually a good one. That's a really good one.
Because I always think about him. I think about... Nah, I'm gonna save that. Go ahead.
Okay.
Go. I got another one, maybe.
If you told me Mike Trout was Christian McCaffrey, that's fine. I believe that.
That's
or
good.
Christian McCaffrey's Mike Trout. Yeah.
They're never been in the same place at the same time. Either.
I
if
mean,
you think about it, though.
It's like me and Batman.
Yes, that's true.
I'm not saying, but I'm saying. All right. So who's your good one that you didn't want to tell me?
No, that's good. Christian McCaffrey or Mike Trout is good.
Yeah, like Mike Trout could be Mike Trout would be like a slot receiver. Like if you told me this guy's a slot receiver for the Pats, I'd be like, yeah, he is. You're right.
No, absolutely.
Or like another baseball guy. Like if you told me, Luis Robert or Robert, whatever. People always have trouble with his name.
Good pronunciation.
I Googled it to find out because there's so much confusion about how to pronounce this man's name.
See what we do for the show, guys? This is it. We're Googling Luis Robert's name.
The more you know.
Not Luis Robert.
Not Robert. Definitely not Robert. He made that clear. But if you told me he was like a wideout, like a T.Y. Hilton type guy, I believe it.
Oh, definitely.
Insanely fast, long, like he looks. Jason Dominguez, you could tell me he does anything. Strongman competition? Yeah, okay.
Have you seen his beard, by the way?
It's crazy. He's a grown man.
Grown man.
I'm gonna need to see the birth certificate.
You got to. I don't know.
Actually, I don't need to see it. We'll keep that on. Doesn't matter. Don't worry about it. He's 17.
I don't know what's going on in the Dominican Republic at the Yankee Academy, but let's make sure it stays in the wraps, whatever.
Yeah. I am 12.
Yes.
You ever seen Benchwarmers? I'm 12.
I'm 12.
He's 17.
Yes,
it's fine.
And I'm rolling with it.
Yeah,
I'm rolling.
Okay, so who was your one that you?
If you told me, this is funny. If you told me, and not only because he does, but he looks like it. If you told me, like, if I found Chris Paul in a bowling alley for real, like honestly, if I saw Chris Paul at your local lanes somewhere, not only because he's 6 feet tall, but he looks like a bowler. Like, he really looks like a bowler for real. Am I bugging out or no?
That may be the best take you've ever had on this podcast. That is so funny.
But he does, right?
He does. He's balding. He's built like one.
Yes.
He's built like a professional bowler.
Now, honestly, if you saw Chris Paul on a basketball court, that's where it's like, really?
Yeah, you'd be like, oh.
Nah, this doesn't go.
Yeah.
Something doesn't belong.
He looks like he should be at like your local New York sports club.
Absolutely.
Playing.
Absolutely. He looks like he does pickups.
Yes.
Like like you said, at your local gym, 24-hour fitness.
Yeah.
Any name him.
And he's wearing like crazy sweat socks.
Oh,
like
definitely.
old school sweat socks.
He may play in sweatpants.
Yeah.
He might.
He's that guy.
He might. Or he'll come out and he look like he stretches before pickup games. You know what I mean?
And he ices after.
Yes. He
He's
does.
icing the knees between games.
And that's what makes Chris Paul, to me, so unique. He's actually more unique than people, I think, give him credit for. You know, we talk about like the unique players that the NBA has ever seen. So like Kevin Durant at 7 feet shooting guard.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's really, we tend to call unique things that we haven't seen.
Right.
Or like not normal as far as unique is concerned.
Yeah.
But Chris Paul is as unique as it gets because
Absolutely.
of you see him and you think he's a bowler.
Yeah. Yeah.
But no, he's
phenomenal.
He's one of the best point guards to ever play this game, and he's still playing at a high level. But when you look at him, he should be bowling.
Yeah.
That's what he should be doing. So that's actually my one that's like not freaky athletic LeBron James playing football. That's more like
that's why it was an amazing take. That's why I'm telling you, it's one of the best takes you've ever had.
Best one, huh?
It was that
take
was
it,
such genuine laughter. That was not at all for like trying to put on a show. That was so genuine. There was actual tears because I just kept picturing Chris Paul in a bowling shirt.
Yes.
And I'm like, yeah, absolutely, with the little glove thing on that they wear, with the chalk.
He's got his own bowling balls and everything.
Maybe he does bowl. Maybe he's really.
I know he enjoys bowling, and he does. He has the tournament.
I feel like I had heard
He's a good bowler. Like I think his family bowled when he was growing up, and everybody had a bowling ball.
Yeah.
And they used to go to tournaments and stuff at the local bowling alley in North Carolina. But honestly, when you see Chris Paul, you're like, he's a pro basketball player?
Right.
And he actually is one of the best ones to ever do it? No, he looks like he should be at the late night bowling.
Yeah.
Like bowling, eating wings, or drinking beer. Yes. You know what I mean? That's what I see in Chris Paul. So that's actually that's one of my unique ones that I thought about.
Yeah.
Like, Chris Paul actually shouldn't be on a basketball court. He should actually be bowling once a week.
I like that. I'm trying to think of one more. I'm trying to think of like who looks like a. I like that you went bowling. Like I like that you went to like a different kind of sport. There's there's easy ones, right? Football players that look like MMA fighters. MMA fighters that look like football players.
Yes.
There are MMA fighters that were football players.
Yes.
But like who looks like a tennis player?
We're talking to you, Greg Hardy. We're talking to you. Herschel Walker.
Who looks like a tennis player? Like, give me another athlete, like an athlete in a different sport that looks like he plays tennis. What does a tennis player look like? Tall, slender, kind of. I mean, to me, you're thinking of like a power forward in basketball.
I would think power
Like a
forward,
small
forward.
Yeah.
Like, but he can't be thick. Like, he can't be.
If you told me John Isaac plays tennis.
It's all 7 feet tall.
Yeah.
John Isaac plays.
There's some
I
big
think he
dudes.
could make a great tennis player, though, to be honest with you.
Probably. Gives a lot of coverage.
Yeah, the reach.
And he's a good defender, so you know he has lateral quickness.
If I told you Kevin Love was a tennis player, what did you think about that?
He's got a little too much mass.
Gotcha.
To be a tennis player.
Who could be a tennis player?
Or even like a tallish shooting guard.
I got one for you. 2005, Steve Nash, tennis player.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like on the Mavericks for the last year of the Mavericks, long hair.
Yes.
Looked like he didn't shower. Like,
yeah. He looks like he's having classics with like Rafa Nadal.
Absolutely. Because as soon as I'm thinking, what does it look like? Like, what does that look like?
Yeah.
And I'm thinking like European.
Yeah.
That's the vibe I'm getting. And so I'm seeing the hair. Like, Steve Nash looked like again, another guy. It's like, really? One of the best to ever do this?
Yeah.
Steve Nash?
Yeah.
But if you told me Steve Nash was, at Wimbledon or U.S. Open, I'll be like, like that. Of course he is. He was a tennis player. Look at him. You know what I mean? Not one of the best point guards ever played this game.
By the way, we're not condoning judging people by how they look.
Look, I love Steve Nash.
This is all in jest.
Yes.
This is a joke.
Yes.
It's just for fun.
That's what we do here, guys.
It's okay to admit that Chris Paul looks like he bowls.
Yes. Yes, absolutely.
It's okay.
It's perfectly fine.
Just had to say that.
No, I feel you. You got to preface.
But I like you're bringing crazy variety.
I've been,
it's good.
That's why you have the podcast, right? You got to let these things out.
That's true.
You got to let your thoughts out. These are the things I think about.
Let me give you a couple players, and you tell me what sport they could be playing, or you would believe that they play.
Okay.
So we'll take it the other direction. Instead of being like, oh, give me a athlete who looks like tennis, I'll give you another player, and you tell me the sport that they look like they could be playing.
Okay.
We'll go hometown.
Mm-hmm.
PK Subban.
PK Subban.
He's playing for the Devils still?
He is?
He is. All right. I'm not up on my Devils.
He's not locked into the Devils, huh? You're not tapped in?
I'm not tapped into the Devils. I'm barely tapped into my own team.
Yes.
Okay.
PK Subban. He looks like, honestly, he looks like he could play like running back.
Yeah.
He could. Like, he has the face for it. Like,
you want to know the sport that I thought immediately?
What?
And I was hoping you were going to say it, but you're close enough. Rugby.
Rugby.
If you told me PK Subban plays rugby,
yes,
for like whatever, some national team,
mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely.
I
I don't know positions in rugby. Don't ask.
Yeah.
Barely understand what's happening in the game, but I know like what rugby dudes look like.
Yeah.
PK Subban looks like a rugby dude.
He does. No, he does. He does look like a rugby guy. Because I think he looks like a guy who likes contact.
Yes, he does.
He does.
So like, not only does his look fit it, his personality fits it. I feel like a lot of hockey players could probably rock out with rugby.
Yeah, I think they like.
It's rough and tumble kind of stuff.
They're a different type of tough hockey
Yeah.
players, man. I think we don't give them enough credit for being as tough as they are.
It's nuts.
You take pucks to the face.
I watched a dude get his throat cut at a game one time.
Oh, you were there?
With a skate.
You saw this?
Yes.
Where was this at?
Get a throat cut.
I remember there's an old video that happened to a goalie.
It might have been like maybe not so much a throat, but like right under the chin.
In the chin.
Dangerous though. Close enough. He was out for the rest of the game, I think.
He probably played the next game though.
Definitely.
They're
Definitely.
just
I think he was I think it was an Islanders player. I can't remember, but I'm sure you could like go back and look. How like Islanders player gets throat cut during. But yeah, it took a stick. I've watched plenty of guys like take a stick to the face. Crazy. It's a whole, like you said, it's a whole nother level of toughness.
Hockey players are just different. That's just, I can't even, I give them I love hockey and I love the sport, but like, man, they're just a different type. Different type.
Absolutely.
Yeah, go ahead. Is it me?
Yeah, you want to give me a player?
Let me see. What sport would you put like Neymar in?
Oh, because he's so perfect for his sport.
Yeah.
I could see Neymar playing tennis.
Mm.
I mean, that's kind of a layup because they're both very like European geared sports.
Yeah.
If I have to go a little more outside the box, you could tell me that Neymar is like a Brazilian shortstop.
Yes.
And I'd believe it.
Yes.
Not an outfielder, not a pitcher, shortstop. He's a middle infielder.
Yeah, middle infielder. I like that one actually a lot.
They would say like he needs to maybe like bulk a little bit
Yeah.
to play at the major league level.
Yeah.
He's a base hit, steal, solid defense guy.
As they say, a slap Judy hitter. That's they would say. Somebody that's like in their 70s would say.
Yes. He's like to me, he's like Adalberto Mondesi or like a Jose Iglesias type.
Yes.
Like got some speed,
Yeah.
gonna get on base, not gonna really hit homers, but Really Mondesi. That would be like my comp for him, Mondesi.
Raul
He's got the speed.
Yeah,
And
he does.
And he'll hit for like a decent average.
Mm-hmm. Neymar's good. That's a good one. I like that. I could see him boxing too for some reason.
Oh yeah.
See him boxing.
Yeah.
Because I think you don't got to be big, like you don't got to be a big guy to do that.
No, in certain divisions.
I didn't think UFC. I thought boxing for sure.
Yeah.
Because
Although
I
he
don't
could
think
be
he
like a
was-
BJJ kind of guy.
Yeah.
In UFC.
Yeah, I don't want to. I just don't know how much contact he'll be able to take. I think boxing he'll be able to.
He's a pretty dude.
Yeah, no,
So
you don't
he
wanna
can't.
do that.
He can't be an MMA guy. He could be a boxer because he could avoid getting hit.
Listen, all right, Neymar he's my favorite, guys. That guy is amazing.
Mine as well.
I don't think again, we can go on a tangent here, but I think you and I feel the same way. Like, I think if you had to pay money to watch somebody play, that's the guy.
Yes.
I've
had this argument with my friends. I hope that you're watching. You know who you are. That Neymar is the most exciting player in all of football, soccer, whatever. And I've had arguments with people, Messi, Ronaldo, whatever. They are exciting. Actually, Messi, not that exciting. I won't go there.
Oh, that's not even. I mean, I agree with the take. I don't even think it's a crazy hot take, to be honest.
I don't think so.
I don't think it is.
Either way. Yeah, most exciting in the sport, I think, is Neymar. But I do think if you told me, hey, we just signed this Brazilian dude, 20 whatever years old Neymar is now.
Was he like 28? I think he's 28.
Is he that old?
He's
Yeah.
old.
I thought he was younger than that.
92.
Dang. That'll make yourself feel old.
Yeah, man.
Because I can remember when he was like Young Buck on the scene.
Shoot.
And now he plays with Young Buck on the scene.
I know.
Mbappe.
But see, the thing with Neymar, he looks like he's 21 still.
Yeah, crazy.
That's the thing.
Crazy,
dude.
You want me to give you one more?
Yeah, give me one more because I think I have one more for you too.
Okay. You know what? You give me yours, and then it'll give me time to think.
All right. Ben Simmons.
Ooh. Golf. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Ben Simmons is like a Ernie Els.
Ernie Els.
Like Ernie was is a big guy. He's not.
How
gone.
big is Ernie? Ernie's what?
I mean, not as big as Ben.
No. But for a
like,
golfer.
For a golfer, yeah. I
six-
stood next to him. 6'5".
Really?
He's a big dude.
There's not a lot of big golfers like that.
No, not really. I mean, there's plenty that are like up 6'2" plus.
Yeah. 6'5" is tall though.
Yeah, he's tall. Like him. I'm trying to think of other dudes because I've been to a couple golf tournaments. Dustin Johnson's pretty tall. Yeah.
But yeah, like a lot of them are like like Jason Day and those guys are like
Smart.
5'11", 6 foot.
Yeah.
6'5" golfers. That's crazy.
But yeah,
I was thinking like, oh, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying like, I could see Ben Simmons on the course. Like, I don't know. To me, his face, his demeanor, it just says like golfer. Like,
I see goalie in soccer.
Oh,
I could see
that.
I could see him being like a soccer goalie. I don't think he could play like center half. I don't know if I know he's a freak to be 6'10" and move like that. I just don't know if he could. I think he would be strong enough to play center half, and like he would be that would be something to watch. Ben Simmons playing as next to Virgil van Dijk or something like that. I know you would love that.
Thoughts out to Virgil van Dijk, by the way.
Yes, please.
Horrible.
Awful.
Anyway.
But no, I could see him being a goalie though for sure. Like I see
him with the gloves on.
Yeah. He's aggressive. Like
that's a good one.
And he's long. Like he could, I mean, I've seen goalies that are like 6'6", 6'7". Goalies
Big. I love a tall goalie.
Yes, absolutely.
Love a tall keeper.
And so again, another one. Like if you said, and he's from Australia, so like he's worldly. Yeah. Like he can. Like I think he's been to like rugby games. I think he has ownership in like a rugby team.
Yeah, I think so.
Down under.
Yeah, down under.
But no, if you give him a soccer ball at 15, not 15. Yeah, I guess you could.
That kind of athleticism.
Yes, you could
translates.
Absolutely, you could give him if you said, I don't really want to play basketball anymore. I'll take a soccer ball, and you put him in net. I think he would have played at a minimum second division soccer. I'm not trying to like diminish that, like, hey, Ben Simmons, but we're talking about Ben Simmons at 15.
An elite athlete's an elite athlete.
Come
like,
on. We talked about
It's
it.
not really an insult.
You're not stopping.
Dedicate your
elite
life
athletes.
to something with that much athleticism, and he probably would have been pretty successful.
Like Joel Embiid, like again another one that's like he's a freak too.
Mm-hmm.
Joel Embiid started playing basketball when he was 16 years old,
Right.
and now he's in NBA. Like
Yeah.
I think all these guys played soccer when they were young. A lot of the African guys.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, these late guys like they hand him the basketball at 16. It's like they become like all stars. You know.
Yeah. All right. I'll give you one more, and then I know you had a topic you wanted to get to.
Mm-hmm.
But first, let's do. I'm trying to think what sport I want to pull from, and then pick the player. Brett Gardner.
Wow, Brett Gardner.
Let's make it a hometown guy.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I tried to make it a tough one.
Because he's a bigger guy but he's short though at the same time.
And he really looks like he plays baseball.
Yeah, he does. No, he
That's
really
a
does.
baseball player.
Brett Gardner. I want to say like a track and field athlete.
Oh, okay.
Like I could see him doing like the shot put.
I was gonna say some kind of like strange
Strange,
event.
like a event where like you got to use your strength.
He could be like a pole vaulter.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, or like throw like, yes, he could be a pole vaulter or like,
Or you're throwing the shot put like
or
you
like
said.
a wrestler. I can see him wrestling too.
Oh yeah,
Like if he
that's
was
a good one.
Brett Gardner wrestling is hilarious.
That's a good one. You're right.
He could be a wrestler.
100%. He'd have cauliflower ear and all that.
Absolutely.
You ever see someone with
Could he be
cauliflower
an
ear?
MMA
Goodness
fighter? I think he
gracious.
could too. I just feel like he's aggressive. Like
Yeah, he is.
I feel like he's just an aggressive guy.
He
I
could
see
be
him-
MMA. Yeah,
He could be MMA.
like an
for sure.
angry little guy. Yeah, little
Yeah.
like fiery guy.
Some combat sport. Let's just say that.
Yeah,
I see him either being a track and field guy. Let's just all right. You know what? I'm changing it. I could see him being a combat sport guy,
Okay.
specifically MMA.
Yeah.
Like at 5'10", 5'11", wherever how tall he is, but like the upper body and the arms and
Yeah.
the aggression. I just see the aggression. I feel like he needs to take it out.
Yeah.
And I could see
A lot of those guys are bald too. Like
Yeah,
he fits that look.
They are. I think MMA fighter for Brett Gardner.
I like that. So you were saying before we came on that you had something Halloween related also, like kind of
Yes.
Halloween related?
So to go along with Halloween, I was thinking like, as a kid, I was scared. I was afraid of the boogeyman. Like that was a thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's a scary name for like
It
a
is.
character too.
It is. I was for some reason I was thinking about like just boogeyman, Halloween, Michael Myers, Freddy Krueger. Like I was not only because I was we were watching the movies
Yeah.
over the last week or so, but like who would be like the boogeyman over the last or however long we've been watching sports? Like who's the boogeyman of their respective sport, or even just things that stick out to you? Like man, like he was scary. Like I'm afraid.
I like that. I feel like we always say that to each other when we bring up stuff. Like, oh, I like that. That's good though. A boogie, like I feel like announcers like using that term too.
They do.
They'll break it out like sparingly, but when they break it out, it's kind of. I mean, I would love that. If I was a player and someone was saying that I was the boogeyman, I would love that.
Absolutely.
Man, I like, to me the first thing that comes to mind is a pass rusher.
Mm-hmm.
That's a guy like who, because like you say boogeyman, I'm thinking about like someone that gives opposing players nightmares.
Yes,
So a pass rusher could definitely give you nightmares.
definitely.
Like a Julius Peppers for a while was a boogeyman. Like
Yes.
You did not want to go against Peppers.
No, he was a freak.
Because you were thinking about him the whole week leading in, and you were thinking about him after he put 4 sacks on your team.
Definitely.
You know? So yeah, like that kind of I mean, because you know what it is though? I feel like guys will have like little spurts of being a boogeyman in their sports, and there's very few guys that did it for their whole career.
Yeah.
Like a Julius Peppers had, in his prime he was, but then it kind of faded. I think a Bill Russell was a boogeyman his whole career.
And I think people wouldn't even recognize that.
Oh yeah,
I think you would have to really like do research, but if you know, you know. It's
Yeah.
like,
if you went and talked to guys who played against Bill Russell,
yeah, scary,
absolutely.
scary.
Before they were keeping blocks as a stat, they only have estimates of what his blocks per game were, but it's like
You can only imagine,
13.
You can
I
only
think was the number they said.
Mm-hmm. 13, yeah.
Imagine having to drive the rim on that.
Yeah.
That's a boogeyman. That's literally like, it feels like he's just bigger and like this lurching figure coming at you as you try and score.
Yeah.
That's a boogeyman.
That is a guy.
Yeah, I want to hear it since you came up with it. You definitely have.
So I've been thinking
head.
about this. Like I love thinking of these type of like one-off people.
Yeah.
That we see like every. It's not every day. Like I think that like again we talked about this before. Like the athlete's like a different athlete now. Where like you gotta have an image, and no one people care about what they look like because those are brand dollars, those are endorsements, and I just think it's just a different. I think athletics, and this is just my opinion. I think it's more of a we're all in this together.
Yeah.
And we got to make the most money we can to get out of this. Like, and we want to come out in one piece.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But before, so like, an example is like Bob Gibson.
Yeah.
Like, you want to talk about like scary.
It's a scary dude.
Like, that's nasty.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, he is fearful. I think a guy now, I guess prior to like, I still think he's feared, but I think the game has changed. But like a Chapman, when he first got here, it's like you heard about it, like 105, like for real from the left side, like you know what I mean? Like that's, and he's big and like he looks when you see him, you're like, whoa, like this guy's 6'4", 230, and like all shoulders and chest, and he's got the neck tattoos and like. He's staring, he's sweating through the cap, and like you're looking at him like, man, like why does his jersey look like that on him? You know what I mean? Like, why does he look like that in his uni? But
I think Randy Johnson was definitely one.
For sure.
And again, it has to do with his size.
Yes, it's just the size thing.
Giant man.
It's the size thing. 6, 7 feet tall, throwing 100. Forget it.
From at a time where people were not throwing 100.
Not at all. Not at all. Like,
and he was blank, 1,000-yard stare.
Yeah.
Just, it looked like he was a hitman.
Intimidation.
He was just
finest.
He was there you're his hit, and he's got to take you out.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like he was definitely a boogeyman.
Lawrence Taylor.
Oh yeah.
Lawrence Taylor, you know about that one. That's just nightmare. I mean, when you there's a video, I think there's like NFL Films video when he is like screaming at the other bench, at the other sideline, and he looked like a lunatic. Because he played like one from you just were afraid.
Yeah.
Like when team started drafting left tackles because of him.
Yeah, and I think when you think about him, and you think about a boogeyman or like any kind of like horror movie, the person, I don't know what you call it, not the villain, but like the person coming after you, the monster, whatever, what's most scary about Michael Myers or like Jason Voorhees? They just keep coming. Yes. They're relentless. Yes. Like it doesn't matter. No. And it's weird because they walk at the same speed.
And you're running.
Yes, and they just keep coming.
Yeah.
Lawrence Taylor, just every play was gonna be there. And he wasn't going to turn off. He wasn't going to take a play off. He was just going to keep. And you're like, I can't run away from him.
No, can't do it.
If you were an opposing quarterback, it felt like every play he was behind you. Terrifying.
Just terrifying.
Like you said, why teams started drafting left tackles. Definitely. He's an all-time boogeyman for sure.
Absolutely.
LT. Absolutely. I don't know. I feel like in baseball, you almost have to be a pitcher.
Yeah.
Because batters don't succeed enough. You know what I'm saying? Like 300's a good batting average, which means 70% of the time you're failing. That's not scary. Like there's guys that are scary, you don't want them to get up, but not like a boogeyman domineering like a Bob Gibson, Randy Johnson.
Yeah, because they control the action. Like they have something that can really hurt you. Like,
yeah,
they have it. I would say like from a hitter, I would say like peak Barry Bonds, like.
Yeah, that's the first person I thought of.
But he's more scary, I think, than like.
He's more like a beast.
Like boogeyman.
Yeah, he's a beast.
Yeah, he's a beast.
He's like an unchained beast.
I think I got the best one. I think I got the number one boogeyman.
Okay.
On the face of this earth.
Okay.
Mike Tyson.
Oh my God. 1,000%.
Mike Tyson for sure.
1,000.
I'm afraid to say his name right now.
Yeah. Mike could kill someone with one punch right now. As a whatever he is, 70-some-year-old man.
I think he's like 50 something.
No.
Mike Tyson?
50-some?
Yeah. He's not.
I was way off. He looks a little beat up.
Yeah. I mean, can you imagine?
No, yeah, he's not 70-some. What am I saying?
The life that Mike Tyson lives?
Was he 58?
I'm surprised he looks the way he looks.
70-some.
Like he's trying to fight. Do you see? He's trying to fight.
He's fighting.
I would pay money to see that too.
He's fighting Roy.
Why is Roy doing that?
Roy wants money. That's why Roy's doing it.
Me and my brother's like, yo, how much would it cost to get? My brother said, hey, like, how much just get you punch in the face, like just one shot from Mike. No. And I said, you have to start at a minimum $5 million. Minimum $5 million.
Yeah, that's permanent damage.
Oh, absolutely.
It's permanent damage.
It can kill you.
It would have to be like $5 million plus the plastic surgery you'll need to put your face back together.
At 50 years old. I don't even care about. Imagine 20 years old.
How old is Mike at this
Mike's
point?
got to be 50
We need like
something.
a Jamie. Jamie, look that up. Jamie. You know, like 54. 54.
54.
We have a Jamie. How
Yes,
about that?
We do. Shout out. We definitely do.
Oh, that was crazy. That was like when basketball players get up and run at the same time. You know what I'm saying? That was one of those.
Or like they pick up their leg and put it on their knee at the same time. Yeah. You know? But no, yeah, Mike Tyson definitely.
54.
Like,
whoa.
Like Mike Tyson at his peak, it's got to be the scariest human being that I've ever seen.
He was threatening to eat people's children.
Come on.
In a post fight.
Come on.
He had already beaten him. And he said, I'm going to eat your children. I'm pretty sure it was a post fight interview.
I'm going to eat your kids.
That's nuts. Yeah, no, I think the greatest boogeyman of all time.
Easily.
In sports.
He's insane.
And it's weird because in other settings, he comes off as a very, like, gentle guy.
I think he is.
How weird to just, like, flip a switch like that.
He said,
become so scary.
I think that's what makes great players great and great athletes great is the ability to, like you said, flip the switch.
Yeah.
Because I think if I train like him, but I think that's in him. Like the mentality and it's just so off. He has just a wire off. Like, and I think that's what's helped him that's what got him to be the champ. Is that he has a little bit off. You got to have a little bit off to go in a boxing ring anyway.
Yeah.
And to be in that boxing ring and go through what he's going through, to do any type of, to get punched in the face is like, you gotta,
for a living.
You gotta be a different type of guy.
Yeah.
The body is not, like, mentally as humans, I don't think we're built to do this.
That's why I'm sitting here saying he's a 70-year-old man.
Yes. Because you assumed, you're like, he's definitely beat up. Gotta be old. I don't think I thought he was 70 years old, but I definitely thought he was in his 60s. I did not think he was in his early 50s. But that's what happened. Like, you have to be in, like, a certain mindset to know that you're going to be a 54-year-old man looking like he's in his late 60s. Yes.
Because he's in great physical shape.
Yes.
But that face, and he didn't even really get hit that much.
No, he didn't.
He's still, like, it took something.
Yeah.
And to mentally be prepared to have that happen to you, it takes a totally different, and then to be the best at that.
Yes.
You really got to be a different kind of person.
I feel like something got taken from me talking about Mike Tyson right now. Okay? Like, I feel it. Like, I can't believe.
You're like.
I'm looking at the door like, if he walked in right now, I swear. But, like.
Would you go up to Mike Tyson if you saw him out?
See, that's a chance you got to be willing to take. But
I
definitely don't know.
Would. I definitely would.
You got to, right?
I don't think he's going to knock me out.
No, he's not. He's not going to knock you out. It's just.
If anything, it's like my Bob Gibson story.
I'm not going up to him like. I have to go up to him when he's with other people. Like either entourage with him, him, not me.
I'd feel most comfortable if he's with his entourage and I go up.
Mike Tyson by yourself on 33rd and 7th, like in Midtown. And you see him on the corner or he's walking and you go and tap, like, hey, Mike, I'm not doing it. I can't. I'd
be terrified because, like, why is Mike Tyson by himself?
That's a better question.
Why is he by himself? Way scarier. If I see Mike Tyson, like, imagine seeing Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson doesn't shop for groceries.
No, he can't.
So like
He would get mobbed out there, I think. Unless
you
there's
couldn't even find him in that setting.
But a little bit of me feels like I don't think you're going to take a flick with Mike Tyson. You're not asking for a flick. I think he would do
Absolutely
one for you.
not.
I think he would actually give you a picture.
He comes off as a kind-hearted guy.
I think he is. He's been through a lot, but like, there's no way I'm asking him. If I'm in Whole Foods and I see Mike,
No way.
Hey Mike, like let's flick
First
up.
off, you're not calling him Mike.
No.
What are you gonna call him? There's only one thing that you would call him.
Boogeyman? Like, that's Mr. Boogeyman, sir.
You see Mike Tyson, it's just like if you were to see Bill Belichick out.
Mm-hmm.
It's coach.
Coach.
It's a respect thing.
Coach.
He's
that's
never
hilarious.
coached me a day in my life, but he is coach.
Coach.
I see Bill Belichick out, I'm not going, hey, Bill. I'm like, hey, coach.
You got to go
If
Bill.
I see Mike Tyson out, it's champ.
Champ.
That's the only thing you call him.
Yeah, that's probably you could definitely talk to him easier. I think that would like he would appreciate that.
Absolutely, because
That's
it's a
a
respect
conversation
thing.
starter.
It's like he's a sergeant. You don't call a sergeant Phil.
What you calling Mariano Mo? Are you calling him Mo?
Oh gosh, no, I don't think so.
You're not calling him Mo, right?
No, just like I wouldn't go up to Derek Jeter and call him DJ.
See, my mom calls him Deej.
I feel like this is different though. If it was you, he'd be like, "Get away from me, loser." If it's your sweet mother goes up to him and calls him Deej, he'd probably enjoy it.
Yes, you give her a hug.
Exactly.
Yeah, nah, I can't. Champ that's the proper way to go up and talk to him if you want to have a legitimate conversation.
All I would say to him was, "Champ, love you, huge fan."
Yeah.
I don't even know what I'd say after that.
I don't even need a pick.
Absolutely
honestly. Don't give me a pick.
He
I
might
don't
not
need
be
to say.
in it.
He don't
You
even
might
say hello
take
to
it,
me.
and then it's just a picture of you.
He's the boogeyman. I forgot about that. That's true.
What I'm saying.
Yeah, he's a scary guy. He's number one easily.
Yeah, I
if
think
you had
of
to have
all
like
time.
a bracket of like, let's have the boogeyman bracket. He's number
Well,
one.
that's kind of cool. We may have to do that for next Halloween.
Man, it's ridiculous. The
We definitely
boogeyman
may have to
bracket.
do that for next Halloween.
That does have a ring to it. I like that.
I like it a lot.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. 2021.
Yes.
Now you brought something up to me, kind of shifting gears a little bit, but something I definitely did want to talk about. You brought something up to me right before we came on that I had seen about Toronto, the Raptors, and there was talk because there's still obviously travel issues with COVID and everything going on for next NBA season, with them being able to play and not being able to play in their home arena.
Yes.
And so you were saying that they were talking about maybe playing at Prudential Center. And I had seen some things about like Louisville also. I know Pat Mahomes was campaigning for them to play in Kansas City. But you had a kind of broader conversation that you wanted to bring up about that. I think it'd be great if they played at Prudential. I think that makes the most sense.
I do too.
Just because of proximity.
Yeah.
And because of the teams they play and all that stuff. But you also had like a broader point you wanted to bring up.
It was more about like if you had to move a team, what are your 5 places you would move them? So like let's say you have a chance to move the Raptors to a city. Or even like a baseball team or another basketball team.
Well, there's one.
There's one. I think we're on the same page too with that one. I think that it's the right thing to do.
In the words of what's his nickname? Russ.
Mr. Why not?
Mr. What the hell is his nickname? Mr.
Unlimited.
Mr. Unlimited. I almost said Mr. Incredible. In the words of Mr. Unlimited.
Mr. Unlimited.
Hey, Seattle.
Hey.
That's who we're talking about.
That is one of the funniest things I've ever heard.
Oh, it's one of the greatest things to happen on social media.
Easily.
Like, he was getting clowned for weeks after that.
We
don't even live in Seattle, and he was getting clowned on the radio.
Oh, my gosh. It's hilarious.
Hey, Seattle's great.
Hey, Seattle.
We got to do. Russ, go to bed.
Go to bed, man. Go to sleep.
But, yeah, obviously, move the Thunder back to Seattle.
Definitely. I'm all about that.
And make them the Sonics.
Got to.
We can get rid of all that.
Honestly, I don't understand how franchises that change cities, like, do you even, like, consider that old part? Because we always talk about, like, the The Thunder have never won a chip, and they should have with the group of players they had. But the Sonics won a chip. Do we acknowledge the Sonics chip as Oklahoma City's past? I don't know. Because I just don't know.
I mean, it's the same organization technically.
Yes. But is it though? Because if you go to Seattle, if a team was to move to Seattle, you know what I mean? If they were to move to Seattle, they would be. You can take up all of the old Seattle Supersonics past,
right?
Like it's just it's
the same
just
city.
There.
It's the same fan base.
Like they don't own it. Like the Thunder are technically a new franchise.
Right.
They're just the franchise. Right. The Seattle Sonics moved. It's like the Colts. It's like It's like when the Colts moved, from Baltimore to Indianapolis, and then the Ravens came in. They didn't take up the old Baltimore Colts history.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It was its whole own thing.
So, I mean.
But yeah, that's the first one that comes to mind.
Yeah, no, that's the first
one that definitely comes to mind for me. Going to baseball, we got to get the Rays out of Tampa.
Got to. It's time. They're too good.
We got to get the Rays out of Tampa.
They're too good.
And look, we're Yankee fans. I love seeing a home game when we're away.
Of course.
But it's sad.
It is.
That they can't fill that ballpark. Mm-hmm. They only fill it when teams are in town that other fans go to the game.
Yeah.
Yankee games. And I already have the city.
Oh, you
I have it picked out. Charlotte.
It's an underrated city, though. They got a great airport.
Look, the Carolinas support every other major sport. They have some actually big minor league teams there, but Carolina's a hotbed for baseball talent.
It is. It really is.
And they love baseball.
They do.
In the Carolinas.
They do. It is.
And weather-wise, it's a good spot.
Mm-hmm.
It's better than Florida. I mean, it's close enough to Florida.
Yeah, it is.
In terms of like weather and whatever, but
you're
it's
close
better.
to Atlanta as well, and you wouldn't have to travel. Like that trip from Florida to, granted it's charter, but that trip to Florida from Florida anywhere, it's not easy. Mm-hmm. It's not an easy trip, especially like Southwest Florida where they'll be at, like in the Gulf. So it's like it's not the easiest trip. Now, Tampa Clearwater is an amazing place. Don't get me wrong. Like if I had to play for the Rays, it wouldn't. It's just I just think they need more juice. They just need more juice, man. Yeah, they're too good to have like the amount of fans that don't come to their games. I feel like
that's and I think if you move to Charlotte, they've proven they can support a major league or whatever, a pro level team, multiple pro level teams, and I think you can keep the Rays thing. Mm-hmm. There's plenty of sun in Charlotte.
There is.
I think you could keep everything, honestly. Oh, he's all right. No, he's not going on the list. Don't worry. I think you could keep everything, just rebrand a little bit of stuff. Mm-hmm. I think it'd be great. I think you'd be closer to people, all the teams you play in your division. Mm-hmm. And I think kind of that team's style and mentality also fits that area.
I think so, too. I think
if you move them to Montreal, to me, it doesn't fit as much.
I love the thought of Montreal. I really do. Because we talked about jerseys. I just like their whole color brand scheme. And I think when I see them, I think of like Vlad.
I was just going to say, I think of
Orlando
Vladdy.
Cabrera. They've had a lot of great players actually play for them. Hall of Famers that ended up having to leave and go to another place. But there was a time where the Expos were good.
Montreal's a great city,
too. Great city. That's what everybody tells me. I have family there. I haven't had a chance to go yet. Incredible.
The food's incredible. Like,
what does it remind you of, like, as far as the city?
Oh man, I don't know. I really don't know, because at least in my experience, it felt small, but that's also coming from someone who lives in New York. Yeah. But I don't know. It felt a little more eclectic. Because I've been to Toronto as well. Toronto definitely has a different feel. Toronto definitely has a more of like a generic city feel.
It does. It's like Metropolis, kind of
Yes.
like you're like not your run of mill city, but it's cityscape.
Montreal felt a little more artistic.
Is it like European? It gives you European vibe,
Kind
right?
of. Yeah, kind of. That was weird. Kind of. A little more like artistic, but then there were also very cool like luxury things, like luxury hotels and restaurants and all this stuff. European, yeah, because a lot of French influence,
Yeah,
obviously French
absolutely.
Canadian, and the restaurants and the food is influenced by that kind of thing too. But just like, oh yeah, like I can imagine being a player there aside from the freezing cold, which
Freezing.
I went there for spring break and it snowed.
Really?
Okay.
That's brutal.
So it wasn't like really for spring break, but it was spring break.
was spring.
And it snowed.
It shouldn't be snowing usually during that time.
Ooh. Like you'll have snow on opening day, but it wouldn't suck to be there though, especially in the summer. I'd imagine. Other teams that I wouldn't mind seeing make a move. Funny enough, I wouldn't mind seeing the Charlotte Hornets move out of Charlotte.
That's funny. Because we're moving baseball to Charlotte. Let's get the basketball team out of there.
Let's get the Hornets out. But Mike would never let that happen.
No, I mean honestly, I think Charlotte would be a great candidate to go to Seattle to me.
Yeah.
Because I just think that.
Oh, you know what's another one?
Embrace them, like Charlotte. I just feel like, and it's funny because Charlotte has a lot. I mean, Michael Jordan's from North Carolina, but I just feel like so they don't necessarily have the support, and they just haven't been good either.
Well, can you blame them? They already have so much focus on two of the biggest sports franchise. I don't know if you want to call it a franchise, but whatever. Two of the biggest sports teams, period, of any team in any sport, in UNC and Duke basketball.
Those programs are just.
How am I supposed to care about the NBA team, which makes no noise, when I have two of the best all-time college basketball teams playing in my state?
You're not lying.
And it's a huge rivalry, and it's always fun.
Yeah.
Amazing coaching, amazing players every single year.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
So I can't blame them. I can't.
Yeah. And Charlotte's just a great city from a night. Like, it's just a good place. What people have told me is it's cheap. It's cheap to live there. And it's just a nice like bars and restaurants and the people are nice. It's just a nice. It's kind of it's like I wouldn't say a poor man's, like a poor man's Atlanta. Like it's very similar.
I've heard great things about it. That's why I thought like for the race.
Charlotte's good. That's a good one.
One that I think I'll give you a city that I think deserves a franchise.
I was about to go towards that too. Continue.
See that? It's only episode 5. St. Louis deserves a football team.
Yeah, they do. They do.
That move confused me when it happened. I understand moving to LA is moving to LA. You're always going to pull the trigger on that.
Always.
But that seemed to be like a major blow to the city. Like, and it's St. Louis. It's not even, to me, that's a sports town.
It is.
So to take a sport, one of the most, if not the most major sport, away from them seems kind of nuts to me. I don't know who you move there instead. I know there's also talk about, there's always going to be talk about league expansion.
Yeah.
So maybe it's an expansion franchise there. I think that'd be kind of cool because it was never really their team to begin with.
Yeah, no, it wasn't.
So it'd be cool to kind of give them their own team. I think the city would really, if you give them a brand new franchise, I think that city, particularly St. Louis, rallies around that team.
No, definitely.
I think they fill the stadium.
Definitely. Like, I think St. Louis, because they've seen winning too, that's the thing. Like, it's like we sleep on a lot of these franchises that that are like also rans from a like popularity standpoint. But I just know there's a lot of Rams fans I know. There are. Like, and I was shocked when I heard that because I was like, when I meet Rams fans, I'm like, Rams? But, like, you think about the championships. They've won championships in that city. The Blues, the Rams, the Cardinals have won.
Cardinals, of course.
It's like it's a proud city. You know what I mean?
They love sports.
Love sports.
I mean, it's a huge part. One of the biggest sports towns in America, for sure.
Definitely. For sure.
Especially when their teams are playing well. They'll really rally around a team. Like when the Blues were doing their thing, or when the Cardinals were, had their little dynasty deal going on, like they will really rally. So to me, you give them a football team and they're gonna.
I mean, they had the Cardinals too.
Right.
The Arizona Cardinals were the St. Louis Cardinals. Before, I guess I wouldn't say before the St. Louis Cardinals baseball team, but they were the St. Louis Cardinals, the football team prior.
Yes.
Dude, why do people just leave? They just leave.
I don't know. I feel like there's definitely something behind it to do with money and all that. And that the NFL doesn't feel that it's viable. But I just, from a fan standpoint, I would like to see, I think St. Louis is a city that makes sense to me, would have a football franchise.
True. So so off of this, I was thinking when you were answering some questions as far as like giving answers, what, how we talk about like, this team should move to this city or this team should do this and that. Which team, so I was thinking, which city best represents a team that's not there right now that we would love to see? So like, for example, when the Raiders moved to Las Vegas, it just made sense. It just felt like it made sense.
I get what you're saying.
Like Raiders, their stadium looks crazy.
Yeah,
like
it's a spaceship.
They were black and silver. Like it just felt like if you had to move the Raiders anywhere, you're not gonna move them to like Austin, Texas.
Right,
you know what I mean?
Right,
like,
yeah.
I just feel like Las Vegas at night in the desert.
Yeah.
And you bring the Raiders there. It's like, I wouldn't say it's an intimidating thing, but like when you see them, it just feels like it goes.
Mm-hmm.
If it's not going to be Oakland in the black hole, let's move them to Vegas.
Yeah.
And get real flashy. You know what I mean? So let me give you a town.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I'm going to give you a city. And if you had to pick a team from any of the four majors to move there, that fits best.
Okay. I like it. Okay. I get it now. Yeah.
Let's go with Austin, Texas.
Austin. So Austin's interesting because I'm sure a lot of people know this, but it's kind of a hipster town.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's artsy.
It is,
but it's Texas.
It is. It's very like odd.
It's like Texas is Brooklyn. It's weird. It's like
Williamsburg.
Yeah, it's like
Texas.
what's I'm trying to think first of the sport that I think would move there. I think basketball.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think basketball bridges across the most interest groups, if that makes sense. Like football would appeal more to the kind of I feel like football appeals to multiple age groups, but only a certain kind of fan.
Yes.
I feel like baseball appeals to an older age group and also, again, a certain type of fan, more serious. I feel like basketball skews more young, which Austin is is becoming a very young town. Also, basketball is just the excitement, the constant scoring. I think for that reason, basketball.
Yeah.
So, okay, with that thought in mind, Sacramento Kings. Move them to Austin, Texas.
I like that so much. Like, that is a great answer.
Young team. They have some flash.
That's an unbelievable answer.
They have
That's
some
incredible.
Interesting dudes on that team.
They do.
I feel like the Kings, the Austin Kings, I could see that.
That's a good answer. Because I saw it immediately as soon as you said it. I said, I see De'Aaron Fox in Austin, whatever team jersey.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Like in that group of guys, it's like, it's almost like they're lost and they need some place to go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I like that. Because I think let's just call them Austin Kings. Like the Austin Kings, I think you can catch a little buzz down there.
Yeah.
And Sacramento loves their basketball team. We're not trying to move your team, guys. Please. But I get it. Like, I understand that. Like, I like that. Let me give you another city. I'm trying to think of places that don't have teams. So, we said St. Louis for the football team. Let's go with...
Or you could pick a city that has other sports, but not certain sports.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So like how we were talking about Charlotte doesn't have a baseball team. You could always pick a city that maybe has a couple teams but doesn't have on other teams.
Let's see. Let's go with. All right, let's go with I'll go with a state.
Okay, that's fine.
Let's go with Virginia.
Oh, Virginia. I immediately think baseball.
I know, me too.
That's just because I feel like that's a shoe-in. Well, I mean, for a lot of the same reasons that I think the Rays could move to Charlotte, I think the Rays could move to Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
But to be different, oh man, no, I don't like. The Oakland Athletics.
Wow.
Move
You're
them
2
to
for
Virginia.
2, man. That is, I see. It's funny you say these things because I see them. I can see it.
Yeah.
I can see it. And again, these are all places that you're saying they're they need some juice or a buzz.
Well, they both came from the same area, generally.
That NorCal spot. Where it's kind of a wasteland up there. No offense to the NorCal guys that are listening.
No, I don't know. It's just to me, I thought working class vibes, grinder vibe, grind it out kind of team.
Mm-hmm.
We're not going to do it with a flashy payroll or lineup.
True.
We're going to go out and get the job done. That to me would appeal to a Virginia fan base.
Yeah.
And to me, when I think of that kind of team, Oakland Athletics.
I like it. That's
and
good.
they got some flash too.
They do for sure. I got one more.
All right.
And this is gonna be. I feel like this may be.
For 3?
I think he could. I feel like this is gonna be tough, but I don't know. But Delaware.
Delaware. Ooh. I immediately think hockey.
Mm-hmm.
For just very obvious reasons.
Yeah.
Should I not do hockey because that's too? Nah, yeah, I'm gonna do hockey.
Yeah, do hockey.
What team would I move to? Hockey is also a sport I'm the least in tune with right now.
Mm-hmm.
So in terms of picking a team to move there, something I say might be ridiculous.
I got you.
Someone might be like, "Why would you move?" Yeah, I won't give a team because I just honestly I don't know.
But just the hockey
enough.
team.
But I think if you're gonna pick a sport to move to Delaware, it's probably hockey or baseball.
I think so too. I don't think basketball is I don't think there's an audience there for basketball for some reason. I don't think football. I think footballs would be too big.
Too big. Yeah, too big. It's immediately what I thought. Too big
for Delaware. But no, I think hockey is a perfect sport because it's small enough where you can catch a big. I think you could go there similar to what Vegas did. So how Vegas became a thing with hockey, the Knights went there and became a thing.
Yeah,
not only because they won, but I think people caught on.
You find the little pocket of people that become diehard loyal.
Yes, absolutely.
The Knights did that. You could definitely do that in Delaware with hockey.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Same thing with baseball, but baseball might need it to be bigger. That's the thing. Hockey doesn't need it to be bigger.
No, they don't.
Baseball would probably need more, and I don't think Delaware could give that.
No, I don't think so.
And so it could crash and burn. But hockey, maybe.
Maybe.
All right, I'll give you one. I'm trying to think of a specific city. You ready for this? Okay. We are expanding beyond borders. We are going to move our first franchise.
Which sport?
You tell me.
Oh, okay.
Tell me the team.
You're just going to give me the city.
I'm just giving you the city.
All right, cool.
Tell me our first London franchise.
First London franchise? Wow. I feel like basketball.
Okay.
The reason I say basketball is because it's easier for, I think, a kid in London to identify with premier individual athletes. So they're used to the soccer, Beckham, Ronaldo, they can recognize those guys. I think it's easier to recognize the best player on a basketball team, especially if it's a star. In a London, in London, than they would probably a football team, because we've been playing football there for how long?
Yeah,
at least 10 years, right?
Yeah, and it's only done so much.
And I think it's popular, And I think they'd like it there, but I just don't know if it's like catching. If we were to move a full NFL team there,
it's also like
it's such a different game than what they.
It's their, they have their kind of football.
Yes,
and it is the football.
It's
really
the one.
There's always going to be the natural friction there with American football because they're like, well, our football's better anyway. I like that. I like the basketball. Yeah, give me.
I got a team that I'll move there. I would move the Spurs to London.
So I had a feeling that the Spurs would come up in this conversation because you've talked about how San Antonio and you're not the biggest fan.
And it's not because I'm not a fan of the franchise. I just think they would. I think people would relate to the franchise that is the Spurs.
Yeah,
because of the profile. In a way, like I think it's they're the closest team to they're the closest to a soccer team the way a soccer team would move because they have a real European foreign import as far as their franchise is concerned with a lot of different people. And I also believe it's no nonsense, just like a soccer team would. They remind me so much of Man City from this is how we play. We're possession, and I'm not necessarily going to change how I play. I need a certain amount of players, and I need this type of player as well. Pep, Pep is not pop. You see that? Come on, man. Come on, I didn't even try to do that either. That just happened. But I think they have the same mentality where it's I just see Spurs. When I look at the Spurs and I think of the Spurs, I think of a soccer team for some reason. Am I off?
No, I think it makes I think that makes a lot of sense. I think they have a lot of European influence. I think, like you said, the kind of no nonsense of it all.
Team.
But also they have history.
Yes.
Which is very important in European sports in general. There's always a lot of talk about history. The big knock on Chelsea is that they lack a history.
Yes. To be a big club.
Right.
Exactly.
So that's big to them. So the fact that San Antonio, has lineage, and long-term success, I could see that. I see if you had to move a basketball franchise, moving San Antonio would be a good move.
There's no flashiness to me. I feel like they would represent the closest thing to a supporter of a soccer club there. That's a working class soccer club.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Or the working people of let's say North London, or Tottenham. I think that's what they would mirror that for the San Antonio fan base.
But they're not this little engine that could. They're actually a big time team.
Exactly. But they're not flashy I wouldn't put the Warriors over there.
Right.
So London. If I had the London Spurs.
It's a great answer.
The London Spurs. You see, we got there, but I'm I don't know what it is. It's coming out today, man. You know what I mean?
Well, in the words of, I don't know in the words, but in the style of George Costanza, I think that's where we leave it. Batting 1,000. All right.
I think that's where we leave it.
Absolutely. For all my Seinfeld fans out there. But so I think that was. I think we looped in a little current events with the whole Raptors thing. We talked some boogeymen. Talked about getting your face busted open by Mike Tyson. Wow, thank God I said open.
Oh my God, I guess it is time to stop it.
Yeah, I know. Give him enough rope. Anyway, that's all we got for this week. Stay tuned to our social, especially for the bracket that we talked about in the last episode, which is the best second uniform bracket. Not the second best second, which is basically a best alternate uniform bracket. So we're going to be working on that. We're going to be posting polls at Second Favorite Sports on Instagram. So stay tuned for that, and you'll get to help decide the best second uniform.
Definitely.
In sports history. And that's definitive. No one will contest that. No, our poll is the definitive one. Don't get it twisted. And then, hopefully you've enjoyed the new setup. We think this is definitely an improvement on the quality.
Very much so.
Not the quality of conversation. That's always there. All right, don't get that twisted.
No, that can't change.
No, doesn't matter. We could be recording on like the recorder device that we pass back and forth, and it's still. But you wouldn't do that because COVID. Don't do that.
Don't do it.
No, but we hope you've enjoyed it. So anytime we do in person, this is what it'll be now.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll still be doing remote episodes as well.
Yes.
But not sure what we'll be doing next. But stay tuned for that.
Definitely.
Next week.
Just know it'll be there.
It'll be there. Yeah, which is great.
Yes.
Where can they find those episodes next week?
At Second Favorite Sports Show.
I don't think that's it.
That's not it?
I don't think that's it. This is why I do it.
This is why he does it, guys.
YouTube.com/secondfavoritesports. SoundCloud.com/secondfavoritesports. At Second Favorite Sports. On Instagram. If you're watching the video, please don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't. And you can hit the little notification bell if you want updates on when we post new episodes, but also you can follow us on social media for that because we will always post when we put new episodes up. And that's all we have for today. That's it?
That's it, man.
He's a sad Jets fan today.
Sad Jets fan.
A battered Jets fan, really, if we're going to be honest.
I just keep coming back. That's really what it is. Like, you see, I got the shirt on. My brother told me, hey, why do you have that on? He's a Jets fan, too. It's like, what are you doing?
He walked in the door today. I was like, you're brave.
Yes. No one saw me, though. That's a good thing. No one saw me with it on.
You're going to be like, I fell. I ran into the door. I don't know. Like, that's what it feels like.
That's why you got to record at night, okay?
Yeah.
Record at nighttime so nobody sees you with the Jets paraphernalia.
You know what? When it all works out eventually, maybe it'll be like post-retirement for you, but when it all works out eventually, you'll be able to say that you always stuck with the team, and that's admirable.
When it works out, I will be on the mic going crazy. Because everyone has its day and everyone has a birthday. And hopefully, in the next couple, it works out, guys. Look, just end the season, okay? Just end the season.
Just get us to the T. Lawrence debate.
That's it.
All right, y'all. This has been fun.
Absolutely.
Catch y'all next time. Peace.
Peace.